Chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Hey guys, here's to local law enforcement who saved Donald Trump's life.
Salute.
Stick around, and you're going to hear some great expert analysis on what happened in the attempted assassination. All right, everybody, welcome back to Surviving the Badge Bar.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Beat ya.
Like we said, and I think the Secret Service is going to try to pawn it off on everybody they can.
Totally
but this
agree.
was a colossal. Is there anything bigger than colossal?
Momentous.
Yeah, failure on the Secret Service part. And so we're gonna talk about that and we're all the stuff. But I from everything that I've studied and looked at, local law enforcement. Sorry, my hands. Local law enforcement saved Donald Trump's life, and we'll get to that and how I come to that conclusion in just a minute.
Explain what we're talking about and all that, because there's going to be a lot.
Yeah. So last Saturday, a week from tomorrow, Donald Trump was in Pennsylvania giving a speech. And about only 6 minutes into the speech,
I was going to say, well, trying to give a speech.
Trying to give a speech.
Yeah.
Not long into the speech,
No.
he starts talking, and he looks to his right, and then shots rang out.
Chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
He gets clipped in the ear. He goes to the ground. Secret Service is on him like a bum on a ham sandwich.
Hot ham sandwich.
A hot ham sandwich, right? And they whisk him out of there.
Yeah.
And thank God he was alive. I mean, by just an inch, maybe.
Yeah, and I made a joke, and for anybody that likes Biden, they're going to get mad at me, but I made a joke, and I said, well, thank God it wasn't Biden, because he never moves his head more than like this much to look at the teleprompters, and it would have been like ping,
Oh, yeah.
Because Trump had his head turned completely sideways like this. It narrowed the field of fire.
Right.
And, just nicked his ear, and like you said, I don't even know if it was a quarter of an inch.
I mean, how far is the ear from
Yeah.
a deadly?
So, okay, let's say quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Or if he had his head turned the other way facing the crowd, it gets him right in the back of the head or right in the side of the head. So thank God this idiot, moron, evil individual was a shitty shot, and he was hurried.
And he was hurried.
And we're going to go into that,
We're going to
too.
go into
Yes.
that. So before we do all that and all the good stuff, why don't we talk about what we're drinking today?
Yeah, we're going to do our liquor moment. We used to call it beer moment, but tonight it's liquor moment. This is brought to you by our sponsors,
Thank
who
you,
we
sponsor.
appreciate. This is Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, artfully aged. I got to tell you guys, it's not super expensive, and it is really super smooth. I really like it. We've had it on the show before. It's been a while. But we really like it. We finished the bottle tonight, so
Right.
we had to
It's good
use
stuff.
it up. So, but anyway, we want to thank our sponsors for helping us out with our liquor moment, with our equipment, and anything else we need. We really appreciate it. And here is a word from those sponsors.
Contact Mainstreet Realty for all your real estate needs. This power team includes Tom Clem, a veteran Marine and retired law enforcement professional.
All right, thanks again for everything, and also we've partnered with A Warrior and Me. If anybody is interested in supporting the show with equipment, or you want us to try a beer, there's a pay link down below. You can support the show, and every dime, 50% of every dime that is donated to us, we will forward to A Warrior and Me. So,
And it's a great charity. They help cancer patients on little events that they can go to, Disney World, SeaWorld, so on and so forth.
Yep.
Kind of like Make-A-Wish, only it's a local thing, and it's unbelievable what they do for these families. Unreal. So help us out and help them out.
So don't let the Secret Service blame anybody else but themselves. I worked with Secret Service. If I were to do it again as a young man and single, Secret Service would be the agency that I would want to work for.
Yeah.
I worked many cases with Secret Service. I worked many of protection details because the agency I worked for, we protected the governor. And a lot of times we were doing a conjunction with the governor and the president.
Sure.
No matter where the president is, the top dog, the one in charge of all protection of the president is the Secret Service.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
Do not let them say, "Oh, that was local law enforcement's problem." That was no. The buck stops with the Secret Service.
They get assistance from local law enforcement in the outer perimeter and so on and so forth, and the parade routes or the whatever routes and all that. They get a lot of assistance from local law enforcement. But yeah, the number one job to make sure that entire scene, area, venue, whatever it is secure is all, like you just said, up to the Secret Service.
And they don't just say, "Hey guys, cover this." Like I've heard that they said that there was supposed to be a local law enforcement or a state police sniper team on the building where the shooter was. It's not like they say, "Hey, go ahead and cover that." No. They make sure that happens, or it's secured.
Well, they're supposed to make sure,
or it's secured. There is,
but I mean, it could have been a sloped roof. I mean, and they may have been afraid of falling down.
We'll talk about that.
I mean, come on. So anyway, we'll get into that.
About 40-ish minutes prior to the president's speech, local law enforcement identifies, not the Secret Service, local cops. We're big fans of local cops here, so as you can tell. Local cops spot this guy, and he's got a rangefinder.
First security failure happened at 5:40 p.m., about half an hour before the shooting, when a local police officer spotted a suspicious-looking man holding a rangefinder at the entrance to the rally. A rangefinder is a small device that you can look through like a scope or binoculars. You press a button on it and it digitally gives you the exact distance of a target that you're aiming at. The suspect was pacing around outside the metal detectors at the bag area check. Officers thought maybe the device was just to observe the speech and the rally better. The officer put out a message, though, over the radio net to warn everyone of this sus behavior, which was passed along to Secret Service and other agencies.
Which, if you don't know what a rangefinder is, you can use it for shooting, and you hold it up and it tells you how far a distance is something.
Golf, shooting,
whatever, shooting,
hunting.
Yeah, a number of things. So law enforcement doesn't just blow it off. They say, "Hey, this guy has a rangefinder. He's kind of avoiding the magnetometers.
A backpack.
He has a backpack."
Yep.
And they identify him as a potential issue, and they forward it up the chain to Secret Service. Apparently, they're trying to find this guy, and he disappears. Okay.
Somehow he got lost in the crowd.
And it happens.
I don't know.
There's thousands. There's thousands of people.
Sure, and you're not following him because he's not been identified as an absolute threat yet. Well, if he would have been, he would have been taken down. But I mean, he's not at that point enough to where they say, "Okay, you two follow him. Don't let him out of your sight. Don't lose him, no matter what."
And they didn't escalate it enough to shut the event down either.
Right, absolutely. All the hair was up on their neck, and they're like, "Man, we need to keep an eyeball on this guy and figure out what's going on."
Right.
And they lost him. So happens.
I never worked for Secret Service. I worked with Secret Service, but a lot of things I've heard is if there's a potential threat, they don't let the protectee out of the hold room.
Right.
And they did.
Right.
They had this person who was a potential, and they let him out of the hold room. So a little bit later, before the speech.
And what's worse is they let him get up on that stage.
Yeah.
Wide open to everybody and everything.
Right. So this guy gets up on the shooter, gets up on the roof of a building that is less than 150 yards away.
Yeah.
I've seen you shoot, and you could have made this shot.
Yeah.
So,
thanks. But he did have to pay me a cigar because I outshot his ass the last time we went to the range.
Very true. Very true.
Take that.
Right?
First time ever in my life, and it will never happen again, but I beat him once.
A blind squirrel and all that.
A blind squirrel. You got that right. Hey, we got to get some blind squirrel whiskey.
Right?
I love that stuff, man. It's amazing. If you like blind squirrel, give us a thumbs up.
So, he climbs up on the roof, and people in the crowd are like, "Hey, there's a guy on the roof."
Well, I heard he used at first. You know, there was a ladder talk and all that. I heard he used an air conditioner to get up.
I heard both.
Yeah,
So,
I did hear
yeah,
both. So we don't really know positive yet what it was.
Whatever it was, he got up on the roof.
Right. Of course,
Now-
all the memes are going around showing a guy carrying a freaking AR-15 and a ladder going, hey. I mean, the freaking internet is brutal, dude. I mean, it is brutal.
So
my God.
he gets up on this roof, and you think about this. The Secret Service has a bad history with bad guys with rifles at elevated positions. You would think this would be 100% priority, this roof. The Secret Service director said, well, we couldn't put anybody on there because it was a sloped roof. Well, if you look at all the pictures, the slope of this roof was actually less than the slope where the counter snipers were sitting. So that's a bullshit excuse. Don't buy it.
And we put a picture of one of the teams. It wasn't the team that took the guy down, but you'll see a picture below here of one of the teams that were up on this roof. And I'm telling you, this slope was like this.
Oh, yeah.
Where the bad guy's laying, it's like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have walked up it without any problem whatsoever, barefooted, tennis shoes, boots, whatever.
And I don't know who gave the Secret Service director that talking point or if she pulled it out of her ass, but damn, that was just dumb.
Yeah, it was. I think right now, if she could go take that back, it would be a full rewind.
Monday, there's going to be a hearing on this, and it's going to be a brutal, brutal hearing. Like I was saying, the Secret Service has a long history since the Kennedy assassination of bad guys on elevated positions with rifles.
Yes.
Now, speaking of that, how do you like this segue? I've recently wrote a book called My Father Killed Kennedy, and I'll list I'll put the link down below, and it's a historical fiction about the Kennedy assassination.
It's what, 16 pages?
It's 12 pages long.
12 pages.
It's a short story on Amazon. Check it out.
And it's 99 cents.
Yeah.
And it is an absolutely fantastic read. I ain't saying that because this is my buddy. I read it, and I don't read books. I hate reading books. And I'm telling you, I read it twice because it was really cool. Anyway, good.
All right. Anyway, so just a segue, and a what do you call it? A shameless plug.
I was going to say shameful plug.
So then Secret Service is like, oh well, that building was covered by local law enforcement. BS. Nothing happens without Secret Service's fingerprints on it.
Where's the air support?
Where is
Why
the
do we have a
drone?
drone?
Right. I don't get
Why
that
do we have
part.
an aircraft, a helicopter?
These are questions that are going to come out
something,
for
bro.
Monday. Absolutely.
Everybody that knows me and knows that, you know, I'm a retired law enforcement in the part-time job I do now, that's like one of the first questions. My family members.
Where's the drone?
First question. Where's the drone?
Yeah.
Or drones? Where's the air support? Where's the air cover? Why wasn't every building top near that venue surveilled the entire time?
He's been swerving.
There we go, PA. Move your hand real quick.
Oh, stop.
Go! Shots fired! Officer needs help! Get the car!
What was that? You good?
Go! Just go! We're gonna be northbound. Northbound Broadway from Rosecrans.
That the POTUS wannabe is up on that stage
Absolutely.
or out of cover.
Secret
Why?
Service protection should cover everything. I don't get it. That's gonna. Hopefully, they'll be able to answer
And
that.
then I heard another one today, or well, I think it was yesterday. That we had to pull some of the coverage that would normally have been there because Jill Biden was just down the road, and we had to cover her. And then I think they said Joe was somewhere else, or Kamala, I believe it was. Maybe she was the one that was right down the road. And then Jill was somewhere else not too far away. So we had to pull some of our coverage from this event to help cover her.
But those are separate details.
I agree.
Those are 100% separate details.
I mean, I know law enforcement is shorthanded. Secret Service is not shorthanded.
No, they pull agents out of every local.
Good friend of mine is in the Secret Service.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a uniform division.
Right.
As soon as this happened, beep, 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 pong, he had to go in.
Yeah.
And he's not even assigned to the protection
Right.
detail.
Yeah.
Still had to go in.
Right.
They called everybody in.
You know, after the.
So you mean to tell me
after the
that,
shit has
hey,
hit
we're
the
going to be
fan.
shorthanded because Jill and because Kamala's over here. Okay, guys, guess what? Report here now.
Yeah. No.
And they could have been there in 45 minutes to an hour max.
I think that's a BS.
I think
excuse.
it's a BS
They're
excuse.
trying to find the excuse that's going to work. And you know what? And like I said, I love the Secret Service. I worked a lot of cases with them because they actually do like counterfeiting cases, things like that, and fraud investigations. I worked with a lot of them, and they're great guys and gals. But this is a failure, a colossal failure on the
really
part
is.
of the Secret Service. So this guy, back on what happens. So this kid, this 1-year-old, gets on the roof, and the people who are watching sees this guy, and they're taking video, and they're telling law enforcement.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
You went right on the roof.
And here we're going to talk about how I believe, and I think LT believes too, law enforcement is the hero in this whole thing. Even though they're trying to be, Secret Service is trying to blame this on them. So, from my understanding, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 cops, I don't know if they're state police or local PD, go to this building where this kid is up on, and one of them boosts the other, cups to hand, everybody's done that before, to get up on a fence, and boosts the local cop, and the officer's, pulling himself up on the roof, both hands pulling himself up, not on a ladder. To take a look. And this kid swings the AR at the officer. From my understanding is the officer, and everybody's like, oh, the officer jumped away, or from my understanding, the officer actually let go, tried to grab his gun.
Right.
And then that's when he
lost his grip and fell backwards. Yeah. He's not on a freaking ladder.
Immediately after that,
radioed it in.
Shots went off. They rushed their actions, their heroic actions, forced this guy to rush his timeline.
I think the time frame was from the time they saw it and radioed. We got somebody on the roof with a rifle. The shot went out. I can't. I had it. That's too. Right. I want to say it was like 1.6 seconds or something like that, or 2.6 or 3.6. It wasn't a whole hell of a lot of time for Secret Service to get that message, get it relayed to them, to the guys and gals, that we'll talk about that are standing there by the stage, and grab Trump and pull him down or pull him off to safety. The shot went off.
Yeah.
But they, like you said, them seeing him seeing those 2 or the cop that popped up.
He knew the gig was up.
He's like, oh shit, I got to get this shot off, and pow.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, it's a pretty damn good shot, even though I have information to the contrary.
Yeah, right.
To be in a rush like that.
And the thing is, at 150 yards, my grandmother, who's blind, can make that shot. There's no reason, because he can wait. If nobody knows he's there, nobody's doing anything, he's got all the time in the world.
Oh, man.
And
he's got
he
time
can wait.
To zero everything in, take a deep breath, exhale, relax, and
take the perfect shot.
Do we know if it was a 5.56 or a 2.23?
I have not heard that yet. So
yeah, I would imagine at that range, probably the guy, I can't say he's smart enough, but probably a 5.56. But it was kind of hard because you could hear the echo of the shots. Because you hear the shot, and everybody goes, "Oh, there was like 12 shots." No, it's a pow and then echo, pow, echo, pow.
But there was still what, 8 shots total?
Yeah.
8, and then
but
one
it sounded
from,
with all the echoes. It sounded like there were freaking 20 shots going off.
Yeah. So
are we going to mention the hero?
Yes,
firefighter.
I'm going to do that right now.
Good.
So
I want to make sure we do.
In this rush shot, he ends up killing a retired fire chief.
Yes.
So
I think volunteer fire chief.
And I want want to give a salute to this guy. He
saved his family, man.
Saved his family. He jumped. He sacrificed himself. He saved his family by jumping on them.
He damn sure did.
And I mean, I know we always shit on firefighters, but hey, you're a hero in our hearts. So here's to you.
Here's to you, Corey Comperotior.
Yeah, Corey.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, firefighter Corey, you laid down your life for your family. Now
God bless you and your family.
Yeah.
Man, I can't imagine.
There were two other individuals critically. I mean, they were really badly injured.
Yeah, they were just
during
upgraded
this.
to
serious
from critical. Yeah.
So it could have been a lot worse. I really deep.
And that's David Dutch and Mr. Copenhaver were critically wounded. Yeah.
I really believe in my heart of hearts that that local law enforcement is the one that precipitated the saving the life of the president. Unfortunately, the firefighter died and two other were injured. So let's talk about the snipers. And you sent me this. The Butler Township Commissioner. I think everybody sees, as soon as this happened, everybody started seeing that the Secret Service was trying to blame somebody else.
So back to your comment earlier, Camille, where you said you weren't sure if it was state police or county. It looks like it was the county deputies.
Okay.
I think they call them our county police.
Township,
I'm not sure.
yeah, okay.
Township officers that actually were the one that was up on the roof.
Right.
So,
I know there was state police there and local.
Yeah, there was. Oh my God, a bunch.
And you could see right away that Secret Service wanted to push this away. Wasn't us. Wasn't us.
Yeah.
And
lay the blame, man.
Yeah.
Lay the blame.
The Butler Township Commissioner said, "Listen, the Secret Service is in charge. Our job was to cover traffic and parking." Okay, and so when you hear the Secret Service, oh, it wasn't us, it was somebody else. Now I heard today also that they're trying to run this one through too, that there was supposed to be another local counter sniper team on that roof. Well, why didn't the Secret Service director say that, or at least say that?
Yeah.
No, she said it was a sloped roof.
Yeah.
Or was it a sloped roof, or did the counter sniper team not show up?
And that officer that slipped actually was injured, according to the township commissioner.
Right.
He actually was injured. He fell from 8 feet.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, he got injured, not seriously, I don't believe, but he got injured. I mean, he's doing his freaking job.
Exactly. So the Secret Service was trying to push this off on local law enforcement. If there was supposed to be a counter sniper team from the state police and they didn't show up, the Secret Service doesn't just say, "Oh, okay, that's fine."
Yeah,
no,
we're good.
You confirm, and then you supplement.
Well, not only that, but I just don't understand. Oh, it just aggravates the hell out of me because it makes it look so bad. You've got a rooftop that is not covered. That's one close. Sniper team was blocked by the trees from seeing that. The other sniper team could see the roof. They're the ones that made the shot and killed the guy. We're pretty sure.
Yeah, the South team.
Yeah, the South team. But what I don't understand is you've got a rooftop that is within striking distance. Easy striking distance. Hell, my 30-06 with a shitty-ass banner scope on it is zeroed in at 100 yards, and I'm hitting quarter-size holes with it. And I'm a freaking... a lay person when it comes to sniper stuff. I'm a pretty good shot with a rifle, but you've got an open roof over here that's not covered. No one's on it. No one's really watching it because you can see the snipers had to readjust to cover that roof. Right. It's the only freaking roof in the area right there that's not covered. Why doesn't somebody cover that roof?
Yeah, I don't know. And they're saying, well, law enforcement was inside the building. I don't know how that helps.
What the hell? Are you going to shoot through a freaking steel wall
No.
and shoot the president to be? I say that because I hope he is, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And I don't
like I said, it's
man.
cost fair. So let me ask you about the sniper team. They also, I've heard this, and I'm not buying this either. I've heard that these Secret Service snipers had this guy in their scopes before the shots rang out, but they are saying that they couldn't shoot
I had not heard that.
I heard that, and that's probably one of those and other balloons. Oh, well, we can't fire until they're firing upon us. Well, that's bullshit.
No, that is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
That is an absolute credible threat.
Absolutely.
And the threat of use of deadly force.
Yep.
You got a guy with a sniper rifle or a rifle with a scope laying down prone position on a roof, pointing directly at the target.
Yeah.
That is an immediate and absolute pew, pew, you're gone.
That's like saying,
I'm sorry, you're
that
gone.
If I do a traffic stop and somebody pulls a gun on me, I have to wait for them to fire before I can return fire.
Well,
bullshit.
now, some of these liberals out here would want that to happen.
Yeah.
They say that you have to fire. Why are these cops just shooting? They didn't shoot it. They didn't shoot at the cop.
But
I'm not saying it's right.
But
I'm
the
just saying
Constitution, constitutional law, there's two case laws, and I'm going to nerd out a minute here.
Oh, here we go. Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
There's two case laws that apply in this situation. There's Graham v. Connor. Graham v. Connor looks at the reasonableness of use of force. Anytime law enforcement uses force, the standard is, was it reasonable? Would a regular,
reasonable and prudent,
right? Would a normal, regular person, reasonable person, believe that the use of force was necessary
to save life of themselves or another?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So even if this guy is on the roof laying down and he's got a stick in his hand, a reasonable person would believe that from that distance, you could tell that, you know what? Don't go up on a roof with a stick in your hand that's black and not expect to get
it's like
shot.
pulling a toy gun on the cops.
Right, exactly.
You run out with a toy Glock that looks just like a freaking Glock and you point it at a cop, you're dead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Or point it at anyone who has a gun on them, and you run up to me and you snatch a toy gun that not a freaking water pistol, pink and yellow water pistol,
or a ray gun with
a little ray gun. It goes, you know.
How's that?
I mean, you pull out a freaking look-alike gun, orange cap or not. You pull out a look-alike gun, and to me, I feel like it is a threat. You're dead. I'm sorry, you're dead.
A reasonable person would believe that the use of force was necessary.
Reasonable person under the same circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Now, also, we have Tennessee v. Garner, which says that you can use deadly force in a situation where you can articulate that somebody who is presenting the threat is a threat to life, great bodily injury, or death.
Their escape would be a threat to society.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
an immediate threat to society.
Now, with that being said, we all know that this is, we know, and now our audience knows, that this is Supreme Court case law. I'm wondering what department policy is, because I would not believe that would be a department policy that you would have to wait for.
Hell
it.
no.
No. So I don't know where that came from.
You are a sniper put in a position where they trust you enough to make the decision to take out a threat.
Right.
You don't have to wait for permission, trust me.
And the thing is, how bad is that going to look?
If they do have to wait for permission, then it's even more fucked up than we think it is.
Or if they have to wait for the first shot, that's fucked up. How bad? Okay, so you're the sniper. Let me put you in that position,
right.
LT.
Okay.
You're the sniper.
Okay.
And you see this guy aiming at the president. He shoots and kills the president. Now you shoot and kill him. Yeah. And you're saying, shit, I just let the president get killed.
Right. No,
because of my inaction.
I would never let that.
No.
It would not happen.
I don't buy it that it's a policy.
No.
And it's not.
I can't stand Joe Biden. I can't stand Barack Obama. But I can tell you one thing right now. If I'm on that sniper team and I see somebody laying on that roof with a gun pointing anywhere even close to the direction of either one of those individuals, he's a dead man.
Yeah.
Immediately,
it's
he's
your
a dead
job
man.
to protect the
Absolutely.
Absolutely 100%. So there's so many failures in this area. So let's talk about some of these.
And let me cover this one here.
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead, bro.
No. You want? I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
So, I was gonna talk about the communication. I see you have it on here. Can I go ahead and cover that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, do what you want. Yeah.
So there's been this problem for 100 freaking years that agencies do not communicate well with each other between the various agencies, DEA to FBI to CIA to ATF. They just don't communicate well because they all have their own caseloads. They all work in their own cases. Hell, I've seen cases when I was in the drug unit where freaking DEA was looking at the same guy we were looking at, who was looking at the same guy ATF was looking at.
Yeah.
We all end up at the same freaking house. And we're like, hey guys, what's happening? And they're like, oh yeah, we've been on this guy for like the last 2 months. Well, thanks for telling us,
Right.
and it's just this big hush hush secret.
Yeah.
Now it's gotten better. It has gotten better. But in this situation, when I used to run a huge scene, remember the arts festival?
Yeah.
I used to run the arts festival. 25, 30, 40,000 people attended the arts festival, okay? I had 100 cops out there from various agencies. We had a briefing before the festival ever started, before the first civilian patron showed up on that friggin' site. We had a briefing with every single law enforcement officer that was there. If a law enforcement officer that was not assigned to that detail showed up on scene just to walk around, just to do whatever, they had to report to the command post for a short briefing. In other words, what channel we're communicating on, what the color of the day is, and what's going on.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to just show up and just walk around with their family on the arts festival and enjoy the view.
Right.
They had to report in.
Yeah.
And that's on duty. Now, off duty, you can come and do whatever you want.
Right.
The communication, I had 3 different agencies at this festival every year, year after year after year. We were all on the same radio channel, working off the same channel. We had one person in charge, command, me, and I had a couple of sergeants out there that were running the various posts, but I had ultimate authority and command. I just don't understand how the communication here, how A team doesn't know what B team's doing, doesn't know what C team's, and why isn't there somebody on the roof? I don't understand.
I'm not buying the communication issue because you're absolutely 100% right. You know that the Secret Service had a command post, and in that command post was somebody from each agency that was there.
Yeah, and when they bring the president or president-elect through, George Bush came through our town on a bus in a cavalcade of frickin' cars and everything else. Every one of us knew what the frickin' escape route was, what the plan was, and everything else.
Yeah.
To a point. I mean, we can't know all the integral secrets of the Secret Service, but we knew what to do if something was to happen, man. And we were all on the same channel. We all knew what was going on. I don't buy this,
and
man.
even if it's not at the same channel,
that was George Bush.
I worked a manhunt where a scumbag had murdered a police officer, and we had like 7 different agencies working this case, and we weren't all on the same channel, but we all had a command post, and we all had somebody in that command post. So
right.
So that
because some agencies don't have the same radio channels, you just can't.
Right.
It's just not. You can't do it.
So if Butler Township radios in, hey, I've got the suspicious guy, you know it goes to the command post, and Secret Service hears that. Even if it's not by radio, it's...
And from what I hear, they did know.
Yeah.
The Secret Service did hear that,
Yeah.
and they did know.
And you know they heard that they were going up on the roof. I guarantee they heard all of this.
Oh, my God, why didn't they pull this guy off that stage?
I don't know.
Or why didn't they not let him go out there in the first place?
In the first place.
You know? Hey, we've got something
question.
hinky going on. We got a guy carrying a backpack. You know, no.
And with the hearing on Monday, this is not a partisan thing. This is a failure in the number one agency that is protecting all of these people.
You know that this is the first time I tried to research it. I couldn't find any others. The first time that a candidate for president has attempted to be assassinated.
Okay. I was thinking Huey Long. Was he running for president or governor when he was assassinated? I have to look into that. I'm not sure. But
before this, a president or anything else, you have to go all the way back to Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
I was sitting on my couch. I stayed home sick from school, from whatever school, high school, whatever. And I'm laying there watching TV, and I see Hinckley shoot him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what? You know?
Well, where were you when McKinley was killed in 1902? You were
Here we
were
go.
right there, right?
Here
You're
we
probably on
go.
a post, right, or
Well,
something.
hell, I was down in the theater when Lincoln was shot. I mean,
I didn't want to go that far
you,
back.
Freaking asshole. Me and Kennedy were having beers before he got shot. I mean,
Right.
you know, come on.
Yeah,
2
so-
years before I was born. Thank you very much.
So we're not laughing. This is such a disaster, and I really hope that they get a lot of answers from this hearing on
Hey,
Monday.
did anybody notice? Anybody notice that Einstein finally cut his hair? Finally cut the
I didn't
mop?
want to. I didn't want
Thank
to, but I had to.
God. Oh my God. Yeah. So comment down below if this looks a hell of a lot better than the last show where it was.
Or should I just stick to my face being on radio?
Yeah, probably that. But
All right, guys.
hold on.
Oh, okay. I know what you wanted to talk about, the rifle team.
Yeah. So evidently, this young man, this scumbag that shot at Trump, tried out for the high school rifle team and didn't make it. And the first comment was, well, he didn't score well enough. And then another classmate of his that tried out or was on the rifle team said not only did he not make it, but he was an absolute. Well, I think that's a safety risk, right?
Oh, okay. I didn't remember. So,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness, yeah. So, he was a terrible shot, I guess, and a safety risk, and there were some other issues, and there's all kinds of stuff on his social media.
Yeah.
That's coming back now
Okay.
that they're finding. That's all kinds of wacky.
Yeah, This kid definitely suffered some mental illness. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you're going to try to take out
And the conspiracy theorists that this was a plan. Trump planned this.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So I plan to create an event that is going to boost my ratings on the overall election. So I'm going to have a 20-year-old kid who sucks at shooting sit on a roof and fire a AR-15 rifle that travels at 1,300-ish
hauling ass. Yeah.
feet per second, depending on the ammo, and I'm going to have him fire at me, but I just want him to nick my ear.
Yeah. And then some people say, I've heard people say, oh, it didn't happen. This is all staged.
Yeah.
100% staged.
Did you hear the guy? There was two people. One of them was an elderly man at the scene when they talked to him. Oh, I think it's all staged. Yeah, it's got to be staged. As he wheels off in his walker. It's got to be staged. Yep, he staged this crap. Yep, I guarantee you it's staged. Okay,
Yeah.
it's staged. You got a guy laying over there on the roof dead as a doornail.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, the moon landing was staged.
Of
I mean,
course,
come on.
Of course. So before we head out, I do want to mention how awesome the Secret Service body people were, because as soon as that second shot went off, you hear the Secret Service, get out, get out, get out. And they were on him. So, I mean, they were.
Well,
Yeah, no, it was. Because remember we were talking about the other day. You can't react before an action.
Let me.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
elaborate.
Okay, sorry.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you. However, here's my only issue. They were all over him like a bum on a hot ham sandwich. But how can you put a 5'2" person, I'm not even going to say their gender because it doesn't matter.
Right.
A 5'2" person to shield a 6'3" man. The person literally was up to here on President Trump. So what about all this? And she was part of the circle. And I'm like, oh my God, there's your opening.
Yeah.
They're not thinking right, man. Whoever's setting up these teams to protect these people and whoever's responsibility is doled out to go, okay, you're here, you're here, you're here.
Yeah.
Obviously things change.
Yep.
But my God, put that 5'2", 3" person over here getting the car ready and getting them over here and getting the door open and this and that, and put the 6'5", 6'2" guys or gals protecting the president and shielding his body.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Just that was my only beef.
No, I get it.
Listen. We're only shitting on the Secret Service because of what the director of the Secret Service said and their comments. And yes, what happened and the lack of some of the things that should have happened. Overall, the Secret Service does an amazing freaking
No,
job.
absolutely.
I mean, an amazing job. And the guys and gals in uniform at the White House, amazing freaking jobs.
Yeah.
And please don't take this wrong, guys. We are not shitting on the Secret Service as a whole.
But a failure is a failure.
Yes, whoever was the commander at the scene dropped the ball, and the overall director, who should have been overseeing the ops plan for this whole thing, dropped the ball.
Yeah.
That's who we're blaming. We're not blaming the individual officers that were out there doing their damn job.
You mentioned Reagan, and there's been some small instances since then.
Yeah,
But what
yeah,
happens? What happens is complacency.
It
It's
really
not gonna
does.
happen. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
it
happen.
really
It's not
does.
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And then, we don't need a drone. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't need that roof covered.
Oh, it's
Nothing's
just
gonna
Trump. He's out here in the middle of Pennsylvania cow field
Everybody
somewhere.
here loves
We're
him.
fine. Everybody's got a MAGA hat on.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. Complacency.
Buddy, that's when it happens,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
How many times in law enforcement you're sitting there and you're like, and then, you know, crap happens.
Yeah, and the bad guys only have to get it right once.
That's
Yep.
it.
That's
and
it.
thank God this guy did not.
Exactly.
Thank God. So, I know we're beating a dead horse here a little bit, but it's just such an. I want to say one more comment. And this is from a personal thing. I think he mirrors it, Camille does, but on a personal note, for that man, I'm talking about Donald Trump, to be shot, go down, get up, say, let me get my shoes, which I thought was kind of hilarious.
I was going to cover that in my last comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
And to stand up, look out in the crowd, and raise his fist up and say, fight, fight, fight. Buddy, I'm going to tell you what, I've been shot at, and your butthole is slammed shut so tight you couldn't drive a pin in it with a sledgehammer, and all you want to do is get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And this man did what he needed to do. He got off the stage. I thought it was amazing. I really did.
That's an intestinal fortitude thing right there. You can't train that.
Biggins.
Right. Yeah.
It really is.
You saw the tow truck that they backed up just to haul his balls away, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had two large baskets. They look like those things that hurl the big boulders that you had your students build.
Trebuchet,
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
final comment.
So my final comment is, how did he lose his shoes?
Well, they're probably slip-ons.
Well, they're slip-ons, definitely.
And when he went down on his knees, I've wore slip-ons before with the sweaty freaking silk socks or whatever, and them some bitches pop off.
Okay.
I've lost mine 2 or 3 times like that,
Because
man.
I'm like, hold on a second.
Yeah, he went down, and I'm sure when he bent down, his toes
Yeah.
went like kind of
And
like
they
this, and
slung
then
them
things went.
All right,
Smart
guys,
ass.
make sure and comment down below if we're missing anything, or there's something that you want us to address in this, or we keep getting you guys giving us ideas on podcasts and episodes.
We're
Keep
using
doing
them.
that. Yeah, we're using them.
Man, we are using the hell out of them.
Yep.
Make
So-
sure you don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell and all that jazz so that you get something.
Yep.
Just one last word.
Yeah.
Well, then you can say your last word. Viewers, thank you very much. We are up over 20,000 subscribers now. 20,000. Dude, it was 4 months ago we were begging for 500.
Yeah.
20,000. And our views are up and everything else. Please share it with your friends. We're having a blast doing this. We're not making a freaking dime on this, okay? We tried to monetize. They won't let us, whatever. So we don't care. We're just having fun doing it. If you're having fun watching it, share it with your buddies, your friends, whoever, and say, man, these guys are a blast. And you might get some good tips on some good whiskey or beer.
Right. So I usually finish up with an officer down moment, but what I'm going to do is we're going to salute what's his name, Corey, right? The firefighter.
Yes, the firefighter, Corey. I apologize. I cannot pronounce his last name.
Firefighter Corey, this is to you, man, and your family.
Absolutely.
We salute you,
brother. Salute. Rest in peace.
And guys, always remember, at Surviving the Badge,
we still got your 6. Stay safe out there.